they will collapse our economy and send our nation into a very steep depression.
I've got a better idea. Let's fire Trump and I'll hire Fauci.
After tens of millions of votes shatter early records, we are already on our way to historic voter turnout as the 2020 election reaches its climax today.
The next president isn't the only topic voters will decide on today. This morning, we break down some of the most talked about issues.
I'm live here at Spokane Arena all morning long. This is one of 2 voting centers in Spokane County. I'll let you know how to make sure your vote counts.
Election day is finally here, and check it out. We're at one of the polling places in North Idaho where you can vote today from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We'll have all the details coming up.
The forecast calls for warmth. 60 degrees likely for the last time in 2020 before a much colder weather pattern arrives.
Up with KREM starts right now with Jen York, Joshua Robinson, Jeremy Legoo, and Dana Marie McNichol.
Well, good morning and welcome to Up with KREM. Today is Election Day. It's a record-breaking number of voters that have already cast their ballots as well. But it all does come down to today. Before we get started, though, we want to ask you, should Election Day be a holiday? If you haven't sent in your response yet, be sure to text us one at 509-448-2000. We'll fill you in on some of those answers here this morning on Up with KREM. As the Up with KREM team coverage starts right now, we've got Tim Pham on our Up with KREM Election Center. Dana Marie McNichol is out at the Spokane Arena where you can still register and cast your ballot today. Our Nicole Hernandez is in North Idaho where voters can cast their ballots this morning starting at 8 o'clock. And today we've got everything you need to know about Election Day, coverage you will not get anywhere else this morning. Tomorrow, the Up with KREM team will be tracking results coming from in the Northwest all the way from the White House to the local elections here starting at 5 a.m. But first, we do want to start with our local meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, for our look outside on our Tuesday. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning, Joshua, and good morning, everybody out there getting ready to go vote. If you want to do so, you're going to be battling a little bit of fog early this morning in low elevations and then rain later on this afternoon and this evening. So if you want to stay dry, get an early jump on it. You can see the fog right there in Riverfront Park early on this morning. And we are seeing reduced visibility across a good chunk of the region down to a quarter of a mile here in Spokane, a mile and a quarter over in Coeur d'Alene, but that's kind of ebbing and flowing. It will thicken up and then it will move back out. Expect that to last for another couple of hours. You get up higher in elevation, you don't really have to battle that fog. It's in the valleys, it's in those low-lying areas where we're really seeing temperatures drop. You get up a little bit higher, it's clear skies overhead. Temperatures down near freezing early on as we start the day, but today is really going to warm up. Same with the next couple. Later on this afternoon, though, we do see a round of showers move through. They are very light in nature. Think raincoat will be just fine today if you're heading out in Spokane. Coeur d'Alene, you'll get away with a raincoat and an umbrella. You'll be fine. Wind doesn't pick up too much. And then we start to dry out, but then we still hang on to some cloud cover and some scattered showers as we go through Wednesday. Thursday is when things really start to change. So today, you're good through the first half. Temperatures start out in the 30s. We're up near 60 by the middle part of the day. Then later on this afternoon and this evening, we'll see that light round of showers move its way through. It does get a bit heavier if you're over in Coeur d'Alene. Joshua?
Thank you very much, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you here in just a little bit. 6:04 now. If you live in Spokane County and you still have not yet voted, it's not too late. Today, our Dana Marie McNichol joins us live from the Spokane Arena where voters can register and vote in person this morning. Good morning, Dana Marie.
Good morning, Joshua. That's right. Live here at the Spokane Arena, one of 2 locations for voting centers for today on Election Day. Now, there's many things that voters can do here at this location and in Spokane Valley. One of them is still register to vote and update your registration. Another one is drop off their ballot. You can also get a replacement ballot or an envelope as well. Use an accessible voting unit. Get answers to your voting questions. So people will be here to help help with that. So there are two locations. First is here at the Spokane Arena. The second is at Center Place Event Center in Spokane Valley. Now these doors at both locations are open at 7 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. tonight. If you have other questions, voters are urged to contact their county elections office. The website for the Spokane County Elections Office is listed there on your screen. Now there are expecting record-breaking voter turnout here today. So we're going to be live with the Spokane Elections Office to answer your questions. What can you expect when you come down here? What are they looking at in terms of lines, wait times, and also if you have any other questions, let us know here on Up with KREM, because of course we are your election coverage here. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Dana Marie, thank you. Well, this morning voters will head to the polls in North Idaho as well. Our team coverage continues now. Nicole Hernandez joins us from Kootenai County. Good morning, Nicole. Doors open set to 8 a.m., right?
Yeah, that's right, Tim. So right now I am at the St. Thomas Parish Center, which is just one of several polling places across all of North Idaho. And as you can see, it is one place where you can vote here today, like you said, starting at 8 a.m. So there's a lot of information for you Idahoan voters out there. So we want to jump right in. So here is a look at some of the basic information that you need to know for today. So again, polls open this morning at 8 a.m. and then close today at 8 p.m. So a full 12 hours, but certain counties decided to open their polls at 7 a.m. So if other counties besides Kootenai County and Idaho, make sure to check as to when your polls open. If there are long lines, election experts say as long as you are in line by 8 p.m., you will be allowed to vote. Voters with an absentee ballot need to make sure that their local elections office has their ballot in hand by 8 p.m. Late ballots, which are any that you turn in past 8 p.m. or in the coming days, will not be counted. Idaho residents can still register in person today. To do that, you just have to provide proof of residence and a photo ID to a polling center. You also must have lived in Idaho for at least 30 days to register in the state. For more information, you can visit idahovoters.gov. It will give you a bunch of different information, anything from polling locations that are closest to you, your registration status, and your absentee ballot status. So any questions you have, head over to that website to get more information. I'll send things back to you.
Thank you very much, Nicole. We'll be checking in with both you and Dana Marie throughout the morning here on Up with KREM. 6:07 now, which means there's still time to register and vote in both Washington and Idaho. People can register in person today in both states to cast their vote. In Washington, you can register at your local elections office or local voting center. Otherwise, the state is entirely vote by mail. The state mailed every active registered voter a ballot 18 days ago. If you have not sent in your ballot yet, it likely will not be included in tonight's initial release of numbers. To make sure your vote counts, ballots must be postmarked by 8 p.m. tonight or in a USPS collection bin before the last pickup time. You can track the status of your ballot right now at votewa.gov. Now, that's not the case in Idaho. All Idaho ballots must be received by 8 p.m. today, regardless of its postmark. Meanwhile, polls are open from 8 a.m. today till 8 p.m. Now, some counties can opt to open polls at 7 a.m. As long as people are in line, though, by 8 p.m. tonight, you can still vote. People can still register in person to vote as well. You must provide proof of residence and a photo ID to a polling center. You also must have lived in Idaho for the past 30 days to register. For more information, you can visit idahovotes.gov. And of course, this morning we are tracking some record-breaking returns throughout Washington. So far, voters have returned more than 3 million ballots. At this time in the 2016 election, fewer than 2 million were already back. This morning, 71% of ballots are back in Spokane County. Looking across eastern Washington, Ferry County is reporting 79.8% back and 80.7% in Columbia County. Both of those numbers are among the highest numbers in the state. The highest, by the way, is in Jefferson County with 82.7% of ballots returned. Meanwhile, eastern Washington is also home to two counties with the worst turnout so far in the state. Adams County is reporting 64.1% back. Franklin County is reporting 65.3%. But the worst turnout right now is in Yakima County with a little over 60% of ballots returned.
So we know there's a lot of information to keep track of this election day, and we want to make it easy for you to understand. You can text the word vote to 509-448-2000 for more information on voting where you live. You can also track your ballot by texting the word ballot to that same number. We'll stick with KREM 2 today for special Election Day coverage. CBS News coverage begins this afternoon at 4 p.m. So we will not be airing KREM 2 News at 4, 5, and 6, but we will have live local election coverage for you every 20 minutes starting at 4 p.m. Initial election results will be released shortly after 8 p.m. For in-depth coverage of the races here in Washington and Idaho, just visit KREM.com. If you are away from your TV, all of our special election coverage will be streamed online.
Thank you, Tim. Coming up this morning, we know Election Day can be confusing. Not only do you see so many names on the ballots, but also the hot button issues in Washington and Idaho. After the break, we're going to break down some of the biggest on the Washington ballot this year.
We've got some fog this morning. I'm going to let you know how long that sticks around and how it impacts your morning commute.